If you're trying to decide if you're ready to buy a home, there's probably a lot on your mind. You're thinking about your finances, today's mortgage rates and home prices, the limited supply of homes for sale, and so much more. And you're juggling how all of these things will impact the choice that you're going to make. While the housing market conditions are definitely a factor in your decision, your own personal situation and your finances matter too. While housing market trends are important to consider, whether this is a good time to buy a house also depends on your financial situation, your goals, and your readiness to become a homeowner. Instead of trying to time the market, focus on what you can control. Here are a few questions to ask yourself on whether or not you're really ready to make a move. Do you have a steady job? Buying a home is a big purchase, and you're going to sign a home loan stating that you can pay back the loan. That's a big commitment. Knowing you have a reliable job and a steady stream of income can help put your mind at ease when making such a large purchase. Have you figured out what you can afford? If you have reliable paychecks coming in, the next thing to figure out is what you can afford. That'll depend on your spending habits, your debt, and more. To be sure you have a good idea of what to expect from a numbers perspective, start by talking to a trusted lender. They'll be able to tell you about the pre-approval process and what you're qualified to borrow, the current mortgage rates, and your approximate monthly payment, closing costs to anticipate, and other expenses you'll want to budget for. That way you can make an informed decision about whether or not you're ready to buy. Do you have an emergency fund? Another key factor is whether you'll have enough cash left over in case of an emergency. While that's not fun to think about, it's important to consider. You don't want to overextend on the house and then not be able to weather a storm if one comes along. You should always have a financial cushion that can cover several months of living expenses, including mortgage payments, in case of an unforeseen circumstance, such as a job loss or medical emergencies. How long do you plan to live in the house? Buying a home involves some upfront expenses, and while you'll get that money back and more as you gain equity, that process takes time. If you plan to move too soon, you may not recoup your investment. For example, if you're looking to move again in a year, it might not make sense to buy right now. 5 years is a good, comfortable mark. Think about your future. If you plan to transfer to a new city, that's something to factor in. The most important question to answer first is, do you have a team of real estate professionals in place? Finding a trusted agent and lender is a good first step. Call me today so I can talk you through your options and help you decide if you're ready to take the plunge or if you have a few more things to consider on your list.